Hey, familia, ¿qué pasa? How y'all doing? Buenos dias. Good afternoon. I hope y'all having a good day today, y'all. We're gonna take a little bit of time today, and we're gonna go into the psyche and the mindset of a monster, according to what these young ladies have been reporting about Diddy. What's up, Skippy? What's up, Samantha? What's up, NC? What's up, that Beezy baby? What's up, Sparks Visuals? Shout out to Swipe Trenches News. Shout out to Made Media Magazine. Shout out to Chris Paltrow. Shout out to C Hood. Shout out to Dro the Mob. What up, Al? We're about to go in right now, y'all. We're about to go in. Every time I'm doing something, people start like texting me and dropping messages to me and videos and shit. Like, I ain't got nothing to do with my life. I'm trying to do my own thing here. Like, come on, son. You know? Anyway, let's start it off with what Jaguar Wright had to say about Mr. Diddy and Cassie, what she said 2 years ago. Take a look at this, y'all. Check this out.
I will advocate for you. Because, see, I know something that a lot of people don't know. I know that you and Kim Porter had a sit down right before she left us.
Tell him, please, tell him.
And I know Kim had some very good advice to give you. And I believe that this is why things are happening as they're happening now. Kim was smart.
Jaguar Wright has been going in on Diddy for the past 2 years. Nobody was paying attention. People was calling her crazy. Shout out to Chris Paltrow. I just shouted you out right before you got in here, bro. I want y'all to listen to this real quick because I want to give y'all an idea of the psyche of this dude, yo. Check this out. Yes, she was, Samantha.
We gonna get you and your little dog too. And congratulations, young Miami. Run as fast as Cassie did. Real life.
Real life street stars. Know what time it is.
That fucker. I'm sorry, I'm a little upset about it. Cause Al B. Shore just came out of his coma, and I've been talking to Al, and we've been texting back and forth, and I'm just glad that he's alive to text.
Definitely.
Yeah. But when you think about Kim, I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, Al B. Shore, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim,
Come on with all these
working
notifications.
employee, because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas. And then the next thing you know, you want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records. They were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before.
They were all writing tell-all books. Kim, Heavy D, and Andre Harrell. Let's continue.
He died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest motherfucker, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning is all gone. Just him. I guess Al disappointed you. You know, I speak for a reason. When you see this bullshit ass motherfucking game fucking with people that you love, that you like, it's too many coincidences.
Too many.
Fuck you, honeycomb.
Oh. Stamp it.
We gonna get you and your little dog, too. And congratulations, Young Miami. Run as fast as Cassie did.
Check this out, y'all.
Has anybody asked themselves about that shit?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are asking about what's going on with it. Yeah, a lot of people are looking at it like that's the way the new relationship should work.
What, to get paid?
Yeah,
she was getting $500K a month. She quit because he dropped her down.
Yeah, I think that's where they're at with it now.
No, but understand this. Think about this. And there are women in this room. Why would you quit? What the fuck is going on that $250,000 ain't enough?
Ladies?
Like, fuck the fact that he... I'm just saying, fuck the fact that he cut from 500 to 200. Who the fuck gives a shit? 200K? Who 250K? Who turning down 250K a month? What the fuck is going on in that relationship that 250K ain't enough?
Could see some things.
That ain't worth 250K. That's got to be some dark shit. Like, people are not understanding that girl quit 250K. 4 million every quarter. Well, I'm sorry, $1 million every quarter.
Now she's talking about Young Miami. So basically, Young Miami was getting paid to be a beard, or because there's a lot of rumors going on about Puffy. Prior to this Cassie incident, everybody was talking about him and saying that he was doing things to people in the industry to get them to compromise in order for them to be good in the industry, or in order for them to propel their career, they had to bow down to him in one way or another. Some had to slob the knob, if y'all know what that means. And some had to give it up another way. I believe that he's bisexual. And he's a control freak. He's like a monster. He takes advantage of people's plight in life, uses them for their talents, and then discards them. Or they have to bow down to him some type of way. He's disgusting. Now, I've done paid off the police to make a statement saying there's no case of him, allegedly. Listen to the rest, y'all.
Shit.
Now, she was getting $2 million a quarter, but then she got, fuck you got going on. That's so deep that it ain't worth $1 million a quarter.
They told a story about Cassie one time, and she was saying someone had asked her why she cut her hair, and she was like, Diddy said he just liked it that way. And they said when she answered the question, it was like she was in a trance. Like, she was just like, I just don't know. Diddy just said he would like my hair this way. And they was like so in awe, like how she didn't even have a thought about it. It was just what he wanted.
That's how he operates. He has people followed. He has people watched. He does all kinds of he's a fucking piece of shit.
Now, Jaguar said this 2 years ago, And this is exactly what the paperwork said that Cassie was complaining about in her lawsuit against Diddy. So it's looking like it's true. It's looking like it's true to me. You see, he made that group on making the band walk in the cold to get him a cheesecake, and he didn't even eat it. Yeah, because that's what he had to do. He had to compromise himself to get in the door.
Too much money.
I feel bad for the kids. Like, don't think that there aren't moments when I'm speaking honestly about that motherfucker that I pray that his children don't hear it. Because that's still their dad. I know what it's like to have a baby with a fucked up ass motherfucker. As much as I can't stand my ex-husband, I would never want my son to feel bad about either one of us being his parent. You know what I mean? Like, I would never want that.
Exactly.
But their father is the fucking devil.
Yeah.
He the fucking devil.
Hold that thought. Why do you think T.D. Jakes was at Puff Daddy's birthday party?
Facts, NC.
I mean, you know, do you remember when Bernie Mac played the minister Friday?
Yes.
That's how I feel about T.D. Jakes. Like, that's how I see. Oh, Miss Parker, come here.
I believe, Skippy, that she didn't say anything because she probably felt that she could go out on her own and try to make her own money and have her own life. But I believe that he's been blocking her and blackballing her and stopping her from making her own money in that industry. So she decided to sue. I think she wanted no parts of him when she left him. She just wanted to go on with her life. She had 2 children. She got married. And she just, as a matter of fact, her husband was watching her for a long time, and he told Diddy that he was gay so that he could get close to Cassie. He wouldn't feel threatened by him being Cassie's personal trainer. So she's been with him since she broke up with Diddy, which was right after Kim Porter passed away. She broke out. Why? Because Kim was warning her. And we're going to get to that. But I believe that he's been blackballing her and stopping her from making business moves. It's been hard for her and her husband. And she decided to fight back and sue his ass. Yep. And he kept finding her, NC.
But for him to be at a Diddy party, I don't know. Like, I feel the same way about that as I feel about when Tyler Perry came to his church and laid hands on him and he caught the Holy Spirit from Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is the bishop of what? Like, I've never, like, and I cut a check for $100. I'm gonna lay my hands on you, bishop. And he said, and then the bitch said, it's on the fucking internet. He's doing all of this, right? And then there's a woman on the dais screaming, push the baby out. Birth that baby.
I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about now. So we're going to move on to the next revelation that I have. And there will be a part 2 to this because I do have the book Dancing with the Devil, where there was a lot more information that came out about the things Puffy was doing, which was written years and years and years ago, but nobody paid that any attention either. But we're going to pay it attention because I'm going to take out some of that information and we're going to talk about it. Now, this is Kim Porter. They're talking about her being confronted by Diddy for trying to warn Cassie. Okay, listen to this.
All right, begin.
Come on with these long intros.
What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. So listen, I wanted to come on here and talk about the Kim Porter situation and give you guys a bit of an update. Now, I was asked by a subscriber over a month and a half ago if I heard anything in regards to Kim Porter, and to be honest, I hadn't heard anything until last night. Now, I first want to say this. I've gotten an email in regards to my commentary on Kim Porter, and basically, you know, they were telling me that I need to stop my commentary on Kim Porter and things of that nature. But I just want to let Diddy know, or anyone from his camp, you know. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not stopping. There's nothing anyone can do. I won't be shut down, and I'm not fearful. So you're dealing with the wrong cat when you send those type of directives to my email. But anyway, guys, let me put you up on game on what I was told last night. Now, we're going to say all of this is alleged. You know, I covered this topic very...
Everything that is being said on this live broadcast today is alleged. It is for entertainment purposes only, and it is rumors and hearsay. Thank you. Fair use.
Gently, and I tread lightly, because Kim Porter is not here to defend herself, but I'm working along with others to uncover the truth and what happened to Kim Porter, because this situation is so strange. Now, Kim Porter and Cassie's relationship was a good relationship, right? Cassie respected Kim, and Kim respected Cassie, and Kim had a lot of love for Cassie, and she really wanted the best for Cassie. But Kim expressed extreme concern due to the fact that Diddy didn't want Cassie around her without him being around. So if you have Diddy, Cassie, and Kim attending the same event, and, you know, Kim and Diddy see each other, of course, they're going to have a conversation. They have history together, and they have kids together. And so if Kim and Cassie were to start talking off to the side, your boy Sean Love Combs would immediately break up the conversation. He would interject with the quickness because he didn't want the two of them talking to each other. So the question is, why was he trying to isolate the both of them from each other? What was there to hide? And the reason why Diddy didn't want Kim and Cassie so close is because he was afraid that Kim would empower Cassie to be a much stronger individual, especially within their relationship. And that was one of the many attributes that Kim possessed, was the fact that she was extremely courageous. And
now, Kim had been dealing with Diddy from the beginning of the start of Uptown Records with Andre Harrell. But she was also being used as a beard. As a beard, meaning they use women to make it look like men could be in relationships with men, but they'll use the women to make it look like to the public that they are not gay, or they don't indulge in gay activity, and that they're heterosexual men. So they were using Kim as a beard, because it is being said allegedly, put the emphasis on allegedly, capital A, that I'll Be Sure and Diddy were in a sexual relationship. But let's continue.
He couldn't run over her, although he did. But Kim was strong enough to stand up to him and say, you know what, I'm leaving you, I'm out. And so we know how Diddy operates, right? He wants to control everything and everyone around him. So having Kim Porter there to be a constant, input in her life when it comes to certain situations, on how to deal with certain things with Diddy, and just life in general, was a big no-no, right, in Sean Combs' eyes. So in spite of Diddy's effort to keep the two from talking, they both communicated on numerous occasions, just talking about life. Kim educated her on how to deal with Diddy, how to deal with the industry, and things of that nature. And so Diddy had no idea that Kim and Cassie were talking that much to one another, that they were in constant communication, until Cassie stopped being intimate with Diddy. And that raised his eyebrows, and he started searching for answers. And so Diddy became a detective, and he pulled the phone records and text messages and saw that Cassie and Kim were communicating behind the scenes. And so when Diddy uncovered this information, he confronted Cassie and he confronted Kim about the nature of their conversations through text messages, because these text messages, or at least some of the text messages, weren't your ordinary conversations that you have on a day-to-day basis with your friend. These conversations were about personal things, dating back when Kim and Diddy were together back in the 90s. And so Diddy was outraged that Kim would have...
Basically, Peace Rob, basically, Cassie was going through the same thing that Kim had already went through. So Kim was trying to pull her coat and let her know what type of dude Diddy was. But with all of the money involved and the smoke screens and all the luxury and stuff that she was afforded by being with Diddy, she couldn't see through that. And I also want to say this, I hope no one takes this offensively, but it's the truth. This is the reason why you should never ever deal with somebody because of what they can do for you. Because you're compromising yourself. Like, to be honest, she didn't have to stay there. She could have left. She could have picked up her stuff and left. You know what I'm saying? She didn't have to stay with Diddy. She could have tried to make her own way. But she was dependent on him to make her career pop, and she was dependent on him because he was taking care of her. Okay? Let's go.
The audacity to question Cassie about the nature of his past, things that he hasn't talked to Cassie about, and things that Kim actually knows because they were together during the time when those particular things happened. Now, I was told that some of those text messages included questions in regards to Andre Harrell. Now, we know that Andre is the one that gave Diddy his start in 1990. All right. I was told that there was questions in regards to Biggie. There was questions in regards to Little Kim. There was questions in regards to Usher. There was questions about and Clive Davis.
Now I don't know what the questions were about Little Kim because I never heard anything about him and Little Kim, but I did hear from the dude World himself. World was saying that she had joined that club. So maybe she was an Eastern Star. So this was what World was saying, why he was telling on the Wendy Williams show. World is the one that was shooting at the radio station years ago at Hot 97 with Foxy Brown and them people. I don't know. Yeah, he was shooting at Foxy Brown and them people when Lil Kim and Foxy was beefing. There was a shootout at the radio station. And World was messing with Kim at the time. So Wendy was asking her what happened between him and Kim. And he told her she down with them people. So as soon as World started talking, y'all, on that Wendy Williams show, guess where World is now? World is locked up. He got 35 years to life for about 6 bodies, I believe. I will pin the story about World in my description after this live, and so y'all can know who he is. Yes, her ex. And he said the stuff about Usher. Now, Usher's mother, this is the same thing I'm saying about Cassie. Because Cassie was only 19, and Diddy took her parents to the apartment that he bought for her to show her that, so they knew that this man, 37 years old, was with her 19-year-old daughter and bought her an apartment. She sold her child. The same story with, he had about 6 bodies, yeah. But it was a gang affiliation. It wasn't him directly doing it. He had shooters that was working for him. I was talking about Cassie, and who else I thought had sold their child. Anyway, let's continue because I done lost my thought.
Each of the questions were like, hey, did he ever talk
Usher.
to you about this Biggie story?
Usher's mother sold him too. She had him living with Diddy talking about so he can get trained or whatever, you know, to be in the industry and groomed. And y'all already know what happened between the scenes. It's been out there of flooding the streets rumors about Usher. And I believe those rumors because y'all all saw that video where he made a mistake, Diddy, when he was being interviewed and Kevin Hart was there. And Diddy said, yeah, and when we woke up, you know, like they was together in the bed or something. And Kevin Hart was like, what? You know what I'm saying? So let's continue.
Did he talk to you about Harrell, Andre Harrell? Did he talk to you about Mary J. Blige, Clive Davis, and things of that nature? And there were a lot of things that Cassie didn't know about. And to that, Kim replied to Cassie on numerous occasions and said, yo, you're being deceived. Now, Diddy told a member of his team that he often confided in for advice and things like that, that Kim didn't disclose a lot of information during those times.
Mind you, let me interrupt this for a second. Rumor on the streets is that the reason why Puffy got that big $30 million deal for Bad Boy, which was unheard of at that time for a hip-hop label, was because he had compromised himself with Clive Davis. Now, didn't Clive Davis just come out not too long ago and said he was bisexual? All I put 2 and 2 together.
Text messages between her and Cassie, but according to Diddy, what Kim did was open the door for all these questions that were coming from Cassie that Cassie has never asked before. So in Diddy's mind, Cassie is out of line. Why are you asking me questions about my personal dealings? And why are you talking to Kim in the first place? I thought we had some type of understanding that, you only talk to Kim when I'm around. Now, I'm told that Diddy tried to confront Kim in that same manner, and Kim shut him down and told him straight up, I'm a grown woman. I'm no longer with you. Cassie is a grown woman, and she should be entitled to talk to whoever she wants to. The young lady texted me. She called me. She wanted some type of direction. She's tired of sitting in the house worrying about your every move. This woman wants a career. She wants her own independence and things of that nature. And I was just trying to give her some insight, right? But Diddy wasn't having it. Diddy wanted to know why was Kim asking Cassie those type of questions. And so with the lack of intimacy between Diddy and Cassie, he put two and two together that maybe Kim and Cassie were talking about other things during phone conversations that don't have a paper trail. In other words, what is Cassie and Kim talking about verbally? Like, what's going on? What's the communication there? So you want to know what's a scary thing? The unknown. And that is what happened to Diddy. He was scared of the unknown. You see, the text messages between Cassie and Kim didn't reveal a lot. But because Kim asked those type of questions to Cassie, it made Diddy nervous. And then all of a sudden, Kim's house get hit for 2 laptops. If you guys can remember, there were 2 laptops that were stolen from Kim Porter's house. And so in my estimation, I feel that Diddy was doing his due diligence.
Now, the laptops were stolen from Kim's house after she was pronounced dead from, quote unquote, quotations, pneumonia. Now, we're dealing with people here who have money, who have doctors that come to their house. They don't even have to go to the doctor. They get visits at home, okay? So you mean to tell me that a doctor didn't detect that Kim had pneumonia and gave her the proper antibiotics and she wound up dying from pneumonia? Do we look stupid? I think they think that we stupid, y'all. And then her laptops are missing. Why is the laptops missing? Rob said Keke Palmer's mother said that Usher was gay, right? Keke Palmer's mother came out recently and said that she said that because Keke Palmer's husband was very abusive. So when she had got on stage that time and let it burn all over Usher, whining all over him, winding and grinding and all that stuff all over Usher, he was very upset about that. So she didn't want Keke to get her behind kicked. So she told him that on the phone that she heard Usher was sweet. Now let's continue with this, y'all.
Trying to recover any information that he could because he knew that Kim was working on a tell-all book. Now, when you think about this in its totality, it's crazy for Diddy to think that Cassie doesn't have her own mind and could have came to the conclusion that this ain't it. Like, the reason why Cassie probably stopped being intimate with Diddy is because Diddy was out here cheating on her. And Kim probably didn't have any type of influence on Cassie's decision when it came to that. But hey, the conversations that Kim and Cassie allegedly...
The only woman that he was dealing with that I saw didn't have these type of complaints was J-Lo. But y'all know what I was hearing in the streets during the time he was with J-Lo? That she was using a strap to please Diddy in bed. Y'all use y'all imagination. Let's go.
He had, if they took place, I'm pretty sure that it could have swayed Cassie to get rid of Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Two things can be true at the same time, as I often say. Now, another interesting point that I want to bring to y'all's attention is the fact that Alex Fine, which is now Cassie's husband, was introduced to Diddy through Odell Beckham. And so Diddy was under the notion that Alex Fine actually dated other men, right? That was the rumor that was going around. And according to what I've been told, that is what Alex told Diddy, that it was true, right? And so it's mighty funny that I felt like this whole thing was orchestrated so that Alex could get close to Cassie because he had a crush on Cassie the whole time.
Okay, we don't really care about that part. Okay. I have more. Okay? Now let me get y'all. Y'all want to know about the situation with him? And let me get this situation with him and I'll be sure. Hold on, y'all. I'm giving y'all a synopsis of what type of personality this dude had, y'all. These people been talking for a long time about Diddy. Cassie ain't saying nothing new. Everything that she said, except for all the real details of what really transpired, was already being said for years. Okay, let's go.
What's up? It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood. Welcome to Industry Stories. And I got a messy one.
Come on with all these messages, yo.
Buckle up and get ready for some fireworks. Now, if you don't know who Rolando Watts is, all the brothers in the 90s.
Y'all remember the show Rolando?
Knows who or knew who Rolando Watts is, or Rolando Watts was. In the 90s, she's the reason why dudes started waiting up for 11 o'clock p.m. for the 11 o'clock news. Eyewitness news, if you are from New York or from the East, or from the East Coast, you'll remember Eyewitness News with Rolando Watts. She was like the prettiest, baddest, black woman, on pretty much on nighttime news. She did 6 p.m. sometimes, but mostly 11 p.m. We wait for Rolando Watts, right? So this was Rolando Watts' birthday party. I believe it was 93. I don't think it was 94. It was 93 or 94. And so at this party, let me set the scene. Some of the celebrities that were there, Spike Lee was there, Brooke Shields was there, some of the New York Knicks were there. I believe it was like John Starks.
Come on.
Who else was it? John Starks was there. Anthony Mason was there. Then we have Uptown, which was Andre Harrell, Al B. Shore, and of course, then there was SWV, and then of course, it was Diddy, Puffy, right? Later on, Kim Porter comes in to the story. So let me set you up and tell you about the night that Diddy laid hands on Al B. Shore for the first time. The reason why I say first time is because I don't know if it ever occurred, how many times it occurred after that, or if it ever occurred again.
Shut up. Right? Just talk.
But these two have a long, nasty history. Right, so Coco.
A long, nasty history. Pay attention.
Of SWV at this time, I believe she was dating the dude from the group Shy, I think. She may have been dating him at this time, or she may have been dating the dude from Diggable Planets, who I think she has a kid with. But she was dating one of them two dudes at this time. At the same time, she was creeping around with Puffy. Right? So it's Coco from
No,
SWV.
this ain't it.
She's creeping around with Puffy, allegedly. And she is
this ain't
allegedly.
It. He don't know what he's talking about. The real story behind that fight between with Diddy, Al B. Shore and Coma. Damn, where is that? I can't find it, y'all. They might have took it down. Explosive to see how Diddy sabotage album. Let's see this one.
Welcome to my channel. Please enjoy the video.
Anyway, y'all, let me tell y'all the story. Because I can't find it, but it was being said that she was a beard, Kim Porter, for the affair that was going on between Al B. Shore and Puffy. But I forget what actually made him slap Albie Shaw in the face. Um, and I can't find the video. I think they took that video down. But oh no, now my mother's calling me. Hold on. Mommy.
Hello?
I'm on live. Can I call you back and when I'm finished?
All right.
Okay. All right. Now let's go to this video, y'all. Are y'all getting the gist of this so far? Okay, let's go to watch this, y'all. This one.
Kim Porter says she dumped Diddy.
I feel like
In a statement to the TV show The Insider, she says she decided to end what she calls her on-again, off-again relationship with Sean Diddy Combs.
House, 47-year-old Porter's body found after a desperate call to 911.
EMS 14, respond with engine 76 on scene of the cardiac arrest.
Tonight, Kim's untimed...
Kim Porter, an ex-girlfriend of Diddy's, died in November of 2018. Lobar pneumonia, which involves inflammation of a whole lobe of the lungs, was listed as the official cause of death by the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office. But Porter's ex and the father of her eldest son, Quincy, Al Bishur, has a different perspective. A post from 2020 on Instagram suggests that Al does not believe that she died of natural causes, but rather that she was murdered. He sobbed heartbreakingly along to an R&B song during the video. You guessed it, Diddy's name was mentioned in the post, giving followers every reason to think Porter was murdered by his ex-wife to keep her hold on the business. I'm curious about what Al B said concerning Diddy's role in Porter's death. What is it?
How you feel about Puffy performing that at the BET Awards and dedicating it to Kim Porter?
Your dog, all that was propaganda, man. You know what I'm saying?
Kim Porter, an actress, model, and mother of four, passed away suddenly in 2018, and the music industry came together to mourn her loss. The autopsy report concluded that Porter had died from pneumonia. It was stated that she was sick with the flu before asking Diddy, the father of 3 of her children, to take care of the kids to guarantee they didn't get sick themselves. Porter passed away from a lung infection while sleeping on November 15th, 3 days later. Family, acquaintances, and admirers were left in disbelief immediately after her death.
Now, the word on the street is that Kim was poisoned, which makes a lot more sense to me. Allegedly, she was poisoned, y'all.
Wondering how such a young, seemingly healthy woman could have succumbed so quickly to pneumonia. The wider family of Diddy and Porter was shown much love and respect in the many online memorials to her. But it didn't last long because of the flood of damaging rumors that the bad boy founder had sacrificed his children's mother. Secondly, Porter's son Quincy Brown's father, R&B musician Al Bishur, suggested that the death may have been the consequence of murder rather than natural causes. Porter died of lobar pneumonia, according to the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner. Her cause of death was officially listed as natural. According to a now-deleted Instagram caption, Al B claimed that in the moments before Porter's murder, she was running from someone or something and that he had ordered her to call the FBI. He didn't say that she was running a marathon until much later. This isn't the first time he's urged to look into Porter's death again, and it's where he made his request for one.
But we know that him and that unibrow is definitely one that has gotten in a lot of trouble when they talk about Kim Porter, when they expose what happened to Kim.
If Porter was trying to get away from someone, might it have been Diddy? If you were alive when Diddy was known as Puff Daddy, you know that he made the entire planet dance. Indeed, by the latter half of the 1990s, Bad Boy Records had established itself as the dominant force in the music industry, producing a steady stream of singles that swept the nation's dance floors and radio airwaves. Even though Diddy's proteges dominated the airwaves with flashy music videos full of pyrotechnics and expensive clothing, it appears that this success came at a price. There were reports that Diddy was treating artists poorly behind the brightly painted scenes. A ludicrously high percentage of bad boy musicians died young, went bankrupt, or spent significant time behind bars as the years passed. In addition, a disproportionate percentage of Diddy's former musicians have abandoned their careers to devote themselves to religion. Do you have any idea what went down? What exactly did they see? Is it possible that Al B is referring to the same items here? Similar doubt and uncertainty surrounded the deaths of Brittany Murphy and her husband, Simon Monjack, both of whom were ultimately determined to have died from pneumonia before her long-term and most famous relationship with Sean Combs.
Did y'all just hear that? About Brittany Murphy and her husband? That they were reported to have died from pneumonia? Let's continue.
in which she had 3 children. Porter dated record producer Al B. Sure, the full name Albert Joseph Brown III, and had 1 kid with him. According to Al B's rants, I was on my way to film the pre-show packages for the Soul Train Awards on BET with Tisha Campbell and Titchina Arnold when I received a call from PR icon and Summit talent producer Queen Dawn Elson asking me if I was okay and did I hear the news. Al B recalled, I do know very clearly that Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia. That's some bullshit, he stated, noting, this is where I get in trouble. Albee continued by saying that 2 weeks previously, they went to a screening of The Holiday Calendar, the Netflix film starring Quincy Brown. Son of Albee seeing me and Diddy's back and forth at the theater had made her giggle. So she was in great health, the distraught radio presenter said. Nevertheless, in an interview with Essence published in 2019, Diddy revealed that the former model had begun feeling ill 3 days prior to her death. Diddy had 3 children with Kim and raised Quincy as his own from an early age. After her untimely passing, rumors began circulating that the mother of 4 intended to publish a tell-all book detailing her high-profile romances in the music industry. The fans who think Porter was murdered blamed this endeavor as the reason. Lisa Pope, the brunette's hairdresser, said that her friend had always wanted to write a book.
Rest in peace to Brittany Murphy, her husband. Rest in peace to Kim Porter. Rest in peace to Young Dolph, who also died in November. Let's go.
But that it would have been on how to raise well-behaved children in Hollywood. I can attest to the amazingly well-mannered children she raised, Lisa wrote a little over a week after Porter's passing. Our strongest bond was our role as parents. Yet Albee, along with millions of others, thinks that the book Porter was writing was largely about Diddy and his...
Oh, and another thing. Kim Porter was very, very close to Kimora Simmons. Kimora Simmons knows what happened, y'all. What happened?
Bad behavior in the music industry over the years. What exactly transpired between Albee and Kim Porter? Although the reasons for their breakup in the 1990s are unknown, nor is why Albee consented to let Diddy adopt Quincy. Porter has stated that she was the inspiration for the R&B group Jodeci's immensely successful 1991 track Forever My Woman, which Albee co-wrote.
She was wrong. She's talking about the R&B group Jodeci, and the name of the song is Forever My Lady. Ooh, yeah. It's like a dream. That song was written for Kim Porter by Al B. Sure when she told him she was pregnant with Quincy. Let's go.
I remember they were working on the song and they couldn't come up with the lyrics, and Al looked at me and he was like, so you're having my baby? Kim recalled on a 2015 episode of TV One's Unsung. And I was like, oh, Diddy's situation was a little different. In the early 1990s, when the music executive was still in the A&R industry, he encountered Porter for the first time. Porter and Albee were in the studio. It was love at first sight for Diddy when he saw her. In 2006, he shared with Essence, I wasn't trying to holler at her or anything, but I was admiring her. Her lips, her eyes, her mouth, her shape, her energy. He claimed he couldn't help but wish he was dating a girl like her. They started dating and became inseparable by 1994. They'd split up and reconciled multiple times over the years, often in dramatic fashion. They officially split up in 2007, but remained cordial.
Okay, I think we heard enough of that one. Now, we're going to go to another woman that's making the same claims against Puff Daddy. She was making these claims, y'all, 4 years ago on Tasha K's show. 4 years ago, she made almost exactly the same claims that Cassie is making now about Diddy. Check this out.
The olive leaf extract can help detox your body in just 7 days. It's like magic, but better because it's real and it gives real results. And I know this because I
fight in Vegas and I went to the Palms and he was hosting there. So I kind of met him there, but he says he remembered it vaguely. And then like 5 months later, I ran into him again in Miami, February 14th, 2014. So that's when we like officially met, I guess.
And what was that encounter like? When you met him and like you remember him, but he didn't remember you. Of course, everybody remembers Diddy. It's like,
yeah.
Diddy.
Well, I think he saw me, and then he was like, "This was at the Palms." He saw me, and he asked who was I with, and I pointed to the guy I was with, and he kind of left me alone.
Okay, whatever.
Like serendipity or something.
He said he remembers it vaguely, but not really. So, but I don't know. I was with a friend, Dan. I'm very like a chill person.
I can tell. How old were you at the time?
I was 21.
21.
Or 22.
Okay. And you're how old now?
I'm 27.
Okay.
Maybe 22.
So a long time.
Yeah.
These dates are crossing over. We'll get into that in a second, okay? We're going to get messy in a second, all right? So you're at the house. You meet Diddy. So obviously he made you feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we've seen it. Diddy seems to be this like very just kind of inspirational, always just kind of over the top, DJ Khaled kind of personality.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Shout out to Tony Bands.
I take it you guys.
No, he was older than me, but I've always hung out with older people in general, so it didn't make me. It didn't bother me.
Okay.
Come on
now from also the same year.
The same year.
Okay. And you mind telling me what happened with that pregnancy?
I told him, and he was like, "You're gonna get an abortion, right?" And then I was like, I don't know. I don't know yet. And then he offered me $50,000 to get rid of it, but I turned it down because I just loved him, and I was like trying to prove that I wasn't the girl that was wanting him for money.
Okay.
I just care about him, and I just wanted him to be nice to me. That's it. I was like, I don't want your money. I just want you to be nice to me.
Whether you decide to keep the baby or not.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be fair to say that he was an asshole about it? I mean, offering somebody $50,000.
Half years, he was. I mean, like the first 3 months.
She was crying. Taking too long.
I can tell this is bringing up a lot. We have some tissues.
Basically, she said he was abusive physically and mentally. Same thing that Cassie is saying. Same scenarios, how she had to do certain things to please him. And if she didn't please him, he would be very mean and nasty to her. Now, in light of all of this stuff coming out with Cassie, I think this is going to be the catalyst for women like this woman I was just playing to start coming out. And I think it's going to be sort of like an R. Kelly thing when all the women started coming out all at once. I think some of them will be true. Some of them may not be true. But I think that it's time for the industry now. This is another woman that Puffy was dating. Her name is Gina V or something like that. And he did her the same way he did Cassie. He was seeing both of them at the same time, Cassie and this young lady. But this young lady wound up getting pregnant, and he allegedly beat the baby out of this girl. Okay. Tasha K interviewed her 4 years ago and spoke about this. But her video, nobody said anything. I guess nobody picked up on it. But she's saying you can go and find that video. I'll put it in the description if y'all want to watch it. Tasha K's interview with this young lady about Diddy. I think it's 2 parts. But so far, of all the videos I'm playing, it shows y'all exactly what was going on behind closed doors. The personality this dude had. He's very controlling. And he likes to boss these people around and have them under his submission. She said also, Cassie had said in the paperwork, in her court papers, that she was reporting what happened to her. She said that Diddy chased her out into the car because she spoke to somebody in the party and he didn't like it. And when they got to the Jeep, which was what's some big ass Jeep's names again? I forgot. When they got outside to the Jeep, he started beating on her. And Cassie said the same thing. She said Diddy stomped her in her face after they left the party because he didn't like the fact that she had spoken to someone. And he stomped her all up in her face, y'all. In her face. And then kicked her in the face. And when he would do things to them and make them feel away, like if he hurt them or something physically while he was abusing them, he would send them on vacation to heal until all the marks were gone and all the wounds had healed up. So we get an idea of exactly who this dude is, especially the way he is with women. I don't know if he was beating on Kim. I heard that Beezy was saying earlier that reports were coming out before that he had broke Kim Porter's nose. Which, after hearing these other stories, what is there not to believe about that? So this guy is mentally, something is wrong with him mentally, yo. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't violated as a child himself because of his confusion with his sexuality and his violent way of dealing with women. There's something that he was trying to suppress that maybe he thought he could suppress with being successful in the industry, but that didn't help him. Because Africa Bambaataa is definitely, he's been going around. There's been plenty of reports of him molesting boys. I heard about that back in the days when I was really young. I was hearing about him. And it comes to find out years later that Africa Bambaataa was brutally raped by two men. So I think these things causes glitches in people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making no excuses for them. I'm just saying from my research, this is what creates these type of people, y'all. Now let's talk about Shakur Stewart. Shakur Stewart was he was the vice president or the president of Def Jam. And when Diddy started messing around with J-Lo or whoever he was messing around with, Kim Porter started dating him. But Diddy thought that she was telling him stuff. And he wound up, listen, y'all listen to this.
You are much too trusting.
I had nothing to do with Allison Brevard's.
Well, I'm relieved to hear that. It's just unfortunate.
Those of you who don't know who Shakir is, he was a powerful dude in the music industry. He was based out of Atlanta. In fact, he worked for LaFace Records, right? And he had a hand in signing Beyonce, Sierra, Young Jeezy, and Rick Ross. And that's just to name a few. Then after leaving LaFace, he became the executive vice president for Def Jam. So the brother had all sorts of skills and talent within the music industry. Now, Diddy and Kim started dating in 1994, and they already had their son Christian when Diddy decided to leave Kim Porter in 1999 and chase J-Lo, right? So Diddy and J-Lo, they dated for a couple of years, but their relationship came to an end in 2001. So when Diddy and J-Lo's relationship came to an end, Kim Porter had already moved on with her life, and naturally, she started seeing other people, and one of those individuals that she was seeing was Shakir Stewart. Now, Diddy admitted he finally came to the conclusion that he was never going to get J-Lo back in 2001, so once that reality set in, that J-Lo was a done deal, then he went back to Kim Porter, right, and tried to court her, and he was ultimately successful. So when he got back with Kim, it was evident that Kim had been seeing other people, and I believe that he came across some text messages from Shakir. And so let me read to you all what a former ghostwriter for Diddy and Mark Curry had to say about this situation that went down between Diddy and Shakir and Kim Porter. Now, I want to say this, Mark Curry wrote a book in 2009, I believe it was published, called Dancing with the Devil, and basically he was exposed.
I will be doing a part 2 to this series. I'm going to call it Exposing Diddy. And I have the book, Dancing with the Devil, written by Mark Curry. So I'm going to do some excerpts from there.
And all of the things that Diddy did to his artists, all the bad things, how he did Biggie and things of that nature. But let me go ahead and read to you this portion about the subject at hand. So he says, Puff ran into Kim on an island. Somehow he found out a phone message from Shakir to Kim. How are my babies doing? Shakir asked her on the message. When Puff realized Kim was doing fine without him, he was incensed. After summoning a couple of his bodyguards, Puff left the palace and went to Shakir's room at the hotel. He banged on Shakir's door until he answered it. What the blank you doing leaving messages on Kim's cell phone? Puff raged. Where do you get off saying you the daddy of my kids? Shakir knew that Puff never confronted anyone without backup, so he was afraid to defend himself. Now, according to Mark, a physical confrontation took place and it didn't end well for Shakir. And also it's been noted that a situation went down between Diddy and Kim over this situation, and a doctor was flown out to actually reconstruct Kim's nose, where she says she accidentally fell and hit her face on the table. Now, I've been told that the two events are separate. They happen on separate occasions. I'm told that Diddy took Kim on a vacation and he confronted Kim about the situation again, and that's when their confrontation took place. Now, I want to talk about Kenny Burns because Kenny Burns was close to Shakir Stewart as well, but he's also close to Diddy. Now, Diddy and Kenny's relationship go way back. I believe that when Biggie and Jay-Z first got on.
I hope y'all are listening to this about Shakir Stewart because it wasn't a good end for him, y'all.
The scene, they would go down to DC because that's where Kenny is from, and Kenny would set up all these parties and, you know, performances by Jay-Z and Biggie and things of that nature. And then Diddy hired Kenny. And in fact, I believe Burns still serves as the senior vice president of brand development for Combs Enterprises. Now, I don't know if they're as tight as they once were because recently the two of them had some political differences where Diddy actually ended up blocking Kenny. So I'm pretty sure that they still work together, but, you know, they're just on bad terms right now. But the one thing that is interesting about this whole dynamic is the fact that Kenny really does not believe the story of how Shakir left us prematurely. Now, in 2008, Shakir left us way too early, but it was ruled that Shakir pardoned himself by the hands of his own, if you catch my drift. Now, like I previously stated, Kenny...
The rumor about Shakir Stewart was that he had shot himself in the head. Now, most people didn't believe that, but there is a story that was going around in the rumor mill that Shakir Stewart was laced, his drink was laced at a party, and somehow he wound up in bed with some men, and they took pictures of him and was blackmailing him, saying they was going to show that to his wife. And he was also being propositioned by somebody high up there in the record industry, that they wanted to sleep with him. Okay, so he was going through a lot, and he was found dead, and they said that it was by his own hand. Let's continue.
Did not believe that Shakir would do such a thing without setting up his family for the long haul. And he's been having doubts ever since this situation occurred. Now, I've been told, right, this is where the exclusive comes in, that during the time that Shakir and Kim were dating, that Kim was giving Shakir all types of information about the nature of her and Diddy's relationship, and that Shakir knew a lot, and he knew too much. And Diddy didn't like that. And it was a lot of things that Kim should have kept to herself, according to Diddy, and she didn't. And he had very critical information in regards to the things that Diddy was doing behind the scenes. And Kim Porter confided in him about a lot of things that were off limits in Diddy's eyes. Now, it's also been expressed to me that even though Diddy put an end to Shakir and Kim's relationship, that Shakir and Kim kept in contact all the way up until he unfortunately left us. I'm told that there were conversations where Kim talked to Shakir about the fact that Biggie wanted out of his contract and Biggie was ready to leave Bad Boy, and that Diddy has expressed on many occasions that, you know, if he had anything to do with it, that Biggie was not going to walk away from his label and leave him high and dry. And so with...
Hello, is anyone listening to this? Did y'all just hear that about the big situation? I'm going to continue a whole series on you, funny Diddy, because when I get done with you, everybody's going to see who you really are.
Kim still communicating to Shakir behind the scenes, that really infuriated Diddy. And it's been said that Diddy warned Shakir in 2007, right? He warned him to stop all communications with Kim. And so, you know, I guess Shakir and Kim, they may have stopped talking, they may have not. But what I do know is that Shakir left us in 2008. So it seems that Diddy wanted his cake and he wanted to eat it too. So this is the thing about the situation. It's like he wanted to do what he wanted to do, right? But he wanted to keep Kim single and isolated because of the information that she had, right? His number one fear was that Kim was going to get into a relationship with a strong dude with strong character that would actually challenge him and that would stand behind her to the point where Kim felt comfortable to tell her truth. Now, you have to ask yourself, you know, why didn't Kim get married again? All we know is that her and Al B. Sure was married. You know, she never married Diddy, So you telling me that a beautiful woman of Kim's caliber couldn't find another man to want to marry her? Like, why didn't she get married? It's because Diddy kept feeding her all of this nonsense about the nature of the relationship and how things should be. And Kim kept believing that one day, maybe one day, that Diddy and her will find some common ground and that he will ultimately marry her. But I've been told that in the last year, Kim started to have her doubts again, and that Kim was looking to move from California because she really didn't like it out there. But she was torn because she didn't want to move her daughters, again, away from Diddy, and Diddy would make her feel bad about that. And he will also confide in her about the fact that they need to stay together as a family, to be a lot closer to one another, even though he was dating someone else. And so Kim was torn. But Kim ultimately wanted to move back to Georgia, is what I'm being told. I've also been told that she was looking at property in the area and that she was going to continue to write her book and things like that. And those are things that Diddy didn't like, But I will say this, Kim passed on a lot of information, and you will be hearing from Kim Porter. Let me just put it out there like that. You will be hearing from Kim Porter. She passed on her information, and you will be hearing from Kim Porter. All right? I can say that, and I can say that with confidence because it's not over, right? Watch out for Kim Porter's story in the next couple of years, y'all. I'm just saying. But anyway, I'm going to let this go.
So this is part 1 of exposing Diddy's dirty, disgusting, take that ass. And we're going to go deeper into this. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow, or tomorrow is what, Saturday? I don't know. Maybe Sunday. I don't know. It depends, y'all, on what I'm doing. Because unfortunately, my cousin passed away. And I'm spending a lot of time with my family because we kind of fucked up right now. But I'm still doing these things just to keep my mind going so I don't end up in a deep depression. I'm on the lookout for the Kim Porter tell-all. Me too. So I hope y'all enjoyed this live. I don't want to beat y'all in the head repeating the same information over and over and over again. So I'm going to end this live now. Thank you, Maya. And if y'all want to go back and listen, if you didn't hear from the beginning, go back and listen. It paints a perfect picture of a profile of a person that would do exactly what Cassie is accusing him of doing. People are asking, why now? Why now? I think she wasn't planning on doing this. I think he was stopping her from making money or having some type of career in the industry. And she turned around and decided to say, she might have said to herself, well, since you're trying to block me and you ruined my life and my career, and you're still trying to ruin me, then you're going to pay. So everybody has their boiling point and their breaking point. But I also have to be fair and say she did not have to stay and put up with that. She could have just left him. Sometimes money is not everything, y'all. Sometimes luxury and money is not worth your own sanity and someone treating you well and giving you the love that you're looking for. Nobody's looking for that type of love that he was supposedly giving to her. So I love y'all. Thank you, Samantha. I hope y'all have a blessed day. And I shall holler soon, y'all. Peace and love.